All right, hello and welcome to Pantless, which we'll use Yippee. Why not? Well, anyway, Pantless is a game similar to like Only Up. Like the whole idea is you were consistently, running up, trying to get to like different locations and everything. The big thing is you don't wear pants. So, um, all right. So I tried this a bit. You can play with multiple people. You can play with friends if you have them. Um, Not being bad at the game will help
Oh,
you.
look.
Yeah.
Another pantsless wonder ready to embarrass themselves. Good luck, champ.
So anyway, so like I was saying, I have spent a very minor amount of time in the game, and I have to say, when it comes to these games, like there's like hit or miss. Like some of them are pretty fun, some of them decidedly less so. And from what I've seen from Pantless so far, I could say that while I think it's well intentioned, it has some pretty cool concepts with looking at the level design and things like that. You feel like you're running on ice, essentially, which means that you're going to have like a kind of a difficult time making it through the levels and doing everything because it's super easy for you to just kind of slide off of things, which is annoying. Unless something has changed, I was also unable to like grab onto things if I kind of like hit like the edge of something. So, every jump had to be exactly perfect, which I've just never really been into perfect. And if I recall correctly, if I walk over this, it will launch me out, which is interesting. It's an odd choice, I think. It definitely is not something that I would recommend because I think it does more harm than good. Like, it's not something that really adds anything positive to the experience. I'm actually doing fairly decent. I think as a single player, like it's fine, but I think you would have a better time playing with a couple other people. Oh no, I've fallen. And then you
Slip is
get to
just
deal
an
with this,
opportunity to
which
embrace
is,
the pantsless nature of climbing.
and that's always the part that I think you either have to really be cool with the concept of having failure to the point where you're going to have to restart potentially from the bottom or the beginning. Otherwise, these kinds of games simply aren't for you. And I don't think it would be such an issue if it wasn't for the frustrations that you experience because you slide around like you're walking on ice. We'll try this way and see if I fare better. But it's situations like that where it's like, well, I was on it, I was barely on it. I really wish we were able to actually just kind of grab onto things instead of falling them off, because I just feel a huge amount of times that I'm falling. It's not actually my fault. It's the fact that the game has me kind of sliding everywhere. Look, I've got claws on my feet. Like, why am I struggling to stay on things? So, but that's just me, and I know it's something that honestly probably goes into the allure of games like this, because that level of kind of like frustration and precision requirements is what makes these go around. But I think it's a little bit too precision-y. It's a little too difficult right off the bat. I think it's just because, again, like I'm saying, like it feels as though your character is running on a bit of ice. Nothing feels very firm. It just feels almost as if as soon as I land on something, there's a potential that I'm going to just keep kind of falling off of it. The jumps have to be, perfect, essentially, because otherwise you're going to be hosed because you can't grab onto anything. And sometimes that stuff happens, and it's like, really, dude, why did you jump off? Just because I'm having you walk over to the edge, you're just gonna jump off and fly off? Like, I mean, if my pantless character doesn't want to play the game, I mean, the least it could have done is said, like, hey, I don't want to play this. I would rather spend my time with other people instead of having you run around climbing buildings and stuff. So, anyway, that being said, I think if the controls get tightened up a little bit more, I think it'll probably be a bit better of an experience. Because, I mean, overall, I mean, it's, we've got pretty decent camera angles and controls. The characters are pretty easy to figure out. This whole automatically jump just because you walk over an edge, though, is a terrible idea. I think just because it just leads to unintended consequences of the worst kind. I'm going to try this only one more time, just simply because, for me, I find it just to be far more frustrating than enjoyable. Which is a shame, because I do enjoy games like this at times. It's just something, it's about, the difficulty of trying to manage the ridiculous level design that you'll always see in games like this. You'll see just completely ridiculous things. And it's like humorous. It's whimsical. It's nice. It's something that doesn't take things seriously, and I enjoy it. But man, I just do not like it when you don't have easily enough the right type of precision, accuracy to do it. And some of it's player skill, which my skill level is probably pretty lame. But things like this, where I automatically jump over the corner or the thing just because I've gone up to the top of it, I just don't understand the choice behind, like, why that would be a thing. Like, it's not something that I look at as a positive. It doesn't assist me as the player. It makes things more difficult, but not necessarily in a way that's...
Whoops, another slip. Maybe next time, huh?
That's enjoyable. And then, I'll do it one more time, just because. But then there's stuff like that. It's just, I landed on the mushroom, and despite having landed on the same mushroom a couple other times, this time it launched me in a direction that I wasn't trying to go. And I don't know. I suppose the issue is I feel as if I have such an extreme lack of control over what I'm doing with my character that I have very little incentive to actually continue trying to progress, because if I feel as though I've done everything right, everything that I could do that would help me get to progress through the level, and instead I'm rewarded with failure because of some weird aspect, like the fact that I slide too much, or whatever the case may be. Or as an example, like, I jump on something and it has me go in a direction that is completely counter to what I'm doing, and so I prepare for it the next time, and instead of it doing that, it actually just does that. Like, I mean, I apparently walked off the edge. I don't know. I mean, like, for me, it's just the controls are just not responsive enough to make this like something that I could play through and actually do well enough to enjoy. So unfortunately, like, I'm not going to go back up again. Like, I've already reached the point to where I'm just very frustrated with the experience, because it seems overly complicated to be able to climb. So, but if this is your style of game, I think you should try it. Like, graphically, it looks fine. The level design looks pretty neat. Apparently, we can get stuck here. Certainly something that I did not expect, but it is something you can do. I guess that's like a good way to end this experience. Oh, okay. So if you get out, just keep pushing a button, the left mouse button. You'll get out eventually. Anyway, like I said, the graphics look good. I think it fits the game. I like that you can design or customize your character a bit. And I think overall the level design itself seems like it should be a really fun time. It just wastes zero time to get into like the kind of things that I feel are a bit more difficult than I would want. Simply because if look, I'm making it to that spot right up there with the windmills. I mean, I guess technically that's almost halfway through this level, but it just feels like from a difficulty perspective, it's going up far too quickly. So, in any case, that's going to be it. I'm done talking about this. The link is in the description. I encourage you to try it if you'd like to. And if you do enjoy it, please wishlist it. Thank you for watching.